I didn't think I was going to be able to do a live after I made my video earlier, but... Alright, so we're going from Cardiff to London City. We're using we're using a prop, very powerful prop. I had lots of bridges in London I picked as waypoints, but we're spawning in at night, because I still can't change the hour thing. I can change it down to the minutes in custom time, but, I can't get the slider to work to do the hours for some weird reason. It just might be me not knowing how to use my controller very well. But
Cardiff Tower, Matty X-Ray Yankee India 5312 at runway 30 ready for departure to the west.
I thought I was going to respond. There we go.
Matty X-Ray Yankee India 5312.
We're using the World Travel livery. And I don't even have everything set up here for when I gotta sit you down. Because you can't let the AI does not know how to do takeoffs. Ooh, that looks bad. Let's jump into the cockpit here. Alright. I have to get some stuff off the screen apparently. And our avionics screens aren't on. So much for loading in with everything working correctly, huh? Ooh, can we go out the door? Or are you gonna freeze on me? I think the game just froze. Maybe not. I keep forgetting I have to unplug the phone before I sit you guys down, or else you guys get a really bad view. Okay, so we can... Oh. Okay. I didn't know we could exit the plane. So you can't get to the back to see the passengers. Alright, let's get back in the cabin then. Okay, we got flaps deployed. Brakes off. Huh. There we go. I wasn't getting the throttle there for a second. Alright, now we're back on the runway. Yeah, takeoff. Wheels up.
Patty X-ray Yankee, India 5, tree 12, continue for west departure. Cardiff Tower, Matty X-ray Yankee, India 5, tree 12, continue for west departure.
Oof, that was terrible. Alright, AI can take over. That was a terrible takeoff. I don't know how much of that you guys could see. Alright, now... plug the phone back in. This should be about an hour flight.
Matty X-ray Yankee, India 5, tree 12, leaving line airspace, frequency change approved.
I'm trying to find the cursor.
Cardiff Tower, Matty X-ray Yankee, India 5, tree 12, frequency change. Cardiff approach, Matty X-ray Yankee, India 5, tree 12 is type 4 miles southwest of Cardiff, 500 feet. Request flight following. Matty X-ray Yankee, India 5, tree 12, Cardiff approach. Squawk 044 tree.
So, I loaded directly into the plane.
Squawk 044
All of
tree,
this
Matty
should be
X-ray
turned
Yankee,
on.
India 5, tree 12.
And none of the
Matty
screens
X-ray
are
Yankee,
on.
India 5, tree 12, radar contact. 4 miles south of Cardiff, 600 feet, QNH 1015. Roger, Matty X-ray Yankee, India 5, tree 12.
And we look like we're sitting higher than the co-pilot, who doesn't look like the co-pilot I picked for doing co-piloting. There's the cursor. Place the cursor where I can always see it. There I go. Okay. And I don't need these well, the hash marks are good to have on. So we took off over water, now we gotta go turn back around. We're going back, oh, okay, we had to turn around to go back over Cardiff. It's starting to freeze up again. I guess we'll stay in here. See, with the AI doing this, I'm not sure exactly what path it's picking. I think it's circling to gain our altitude. It doesn't look like our lights are on. And it keeps freezing. This happened the other day to us as well. I don't know if it's freezing up because we're flying over somewhere I hadn't been before and it's loading it in, or if streaming and the game streaming and I'm streaming might be causing problems. The router might not be able to handle this. But I mean, I have these problems when I'm not recording, so that blinking is a problem though. The city lights blinking in and out. But yet nothing looks like it's working in here, even though we are flying. Again, these aren't that easy to do live, unlike with 2020, and I swear, I keep saying it, I probably should just keep making live streams on 2020, just because I can use the co-pilot feature there. And it will do the taxiing and the takeoff. It will do everything in 2020. But I can't install 2020 and play 24. I'm just gonna have to install 2020 at night, and hopefully it'll be done by the time I wake up in the morning. I'd love to do the outside view, but I don't know how much it's gonna keep freezing. Now, when you're doing career mode and you put it in AI mode, which is doable for certain missions, for part of missions, they will follow these blue hash marks, but every time I've done a live stream flight, the AI has not really followed the hash marks. And we are flying into weather, aren't we? I believe this is a new plane for 2020. I mean, for 2024. It's just a shame these screens aren't on. I had this problem a lot of times in 2020 with the Airbuses, where I could load in on the runway, but none of the avionics would display. I think we froze again. Yeah, we don't have any of our lights on. So it spawned me onto the runway at dusk with no lights. I didn't know I was zoomed in still. Sorry guys. You couldn't see everything because I had it zoomed in still. There goes the land flickering in and out again. So I normally just pick a random plane, but every time I load into the game, I seem to have less and less aircraft. One point I had 139. Today I only had like 100. So I don't know. Maybe because they keep fixing things, planes keep getting deactivated. I went in and enabled everything that was that wasn't active, but and relaunched the game.
Patty X-ray Yankee India 5, tree 12, contact Manchester Center 1118 775. Good day. 118 775 for Matty X-ray Yankee India 5, tree 12.
Okay, so that blinking was them loading in. Is it? It's streaming in the data. Okay. So yeah, we're going to London City, not Heathrow. We are going to pass through Heathrow's airspace. And we're not flying very high. What is our altitude? We're only about 10,000 feet. I pick a jet thinking we're gonna go go high, but I guess this is as high as they go. It doesn't look like we're going much higher. I don't know if we'll ever get the co-pilot feature in 24 like we had in 2020. I have yet just to take a flight in every plane in here. I messed around with some of the Velociraptor, the Jetson, and those are pretty. The Jetson's quite interesting thing to try to fly. But everything's also, I don't know the buttons when I launch into a thing, so because there's certain default things that should be mapped the same no matter what plane you load into, like your throttle, but it sometimes isn't. And like with the hot air balloon, I gotta figure out I gotta map my burner so I can control the burner, or not control the burner, but to move the burner so we can go left, right. And I'm sorry, folks. This is probably what happens to you guys as well. When new things are loading in, it just blinks. You see as it stops blinking as we're flying over it. I thought the sun would be going down by now. I guess it's just really cloudy over there today. Maybe that's why we're below the clouds, because I'm under VFR flight rules. I don't know how you change the flight rules in free flight. So you can fly VOR, well, GPS. Yeah, with GPS you have GPS and VOR. I don't know how you change that. And then I don't know how you can change to the IFR, low and high altitudes. Or even if that's a feature. So there's my flight plan, and then there's the hash mark. Hash marks might not be the flight plan I put in. We would definitely be under IFR flight rules here with all these clouds. Because the ground is quite hazy. Oh, but the worst thing, when you have to, in career mode, when you gotta get your IFR endorsement, oh my god, is it cloudy as heck? Every time I've done that, I had to use the EFB just to know to have my flight plan so I could follow that. I finally figured out the other day that yesterday I got my IFR, and I finally got I was on my approach, and I was using autopilot, and I put in the approach, and it lowered me autopilot on with just the approach mode. It lowered me all the way down to the landing lights on the runway, which before I figured that out, I could not find the runway to the very last second, and I had to keep circling to line up with the runway. Oh, it's a pain in the butt that way. So we're low flying in a jet from Cardiff to London City. I don't know if you're supposed to pick your altitude or not. You know, like in a free flight in 2020, I don't know about you guys, but I would just load in my departure, arrival, pick waypoints in the middle, and hit fly. And it would automatically pick an altitude most of the time. I will definitely be picking an airliner, probably to do our next flight up to Edinburgh. From Edinburgh, I don't know. I don't know where we want to go from Edinburgh, because I jumped from Mexico all the way over to the UK. Maybe we go up to Iceland, which means I could do, from Edinburgh we could hit the Orkney and Shetland Islands, and then from Shetland, I think there's one more island there before you hit Iceland, and the North Sea. I don't know. Again, I might just start redoing these in 2020, just because it was a lot easier for me to do these lives in 2020. Like I said, I had the co-pilot. We at least got to see, I could start us from the parking spot. Can't really do that here and hold the phone. So 2020 might be the way I definitely need to keep doing live streams. And live streams, I know, are the only thing I've been doing lately. Just because I don't have a good idea of how to record my, I mean, I got the flight recorder. I forget I could do the flight recorder, but then see, I have to do my flight, then I have to go back and watch the whole flight and record it with the phone. Whereas if I do live streams, there's nothing wrong with doing pre-recorded video for a live stream from a flight recorder. However, on 2020, I could just load into a live stream with my flight plan, and we would get there. I wouldn't have to have a video that's pre-recorded. I don't know. I think we're about to crash. That's snow? It looked like snow. We're not flying awfully high. I mean, we're 13. We're at 1,300 or 1,300 some feet. We might be flying low. I don't think we're flying that slow. What's our airspeed? Our ground? Yeah, what's our airspeed here? 225 knots. So, we shouldn't be that long. We should be getting... We're in Manchester's airspace. We should be switching to London airspace here in a few minutes. In a way, it's probably good we don't have our lights on, because the other day when we flew from Isle of Man to Cardiff, it was completely dark, and we had flashing lights the whole flight, which probably drove some people crazy. If you had epilepsy and you watched that, you might have had a seizure. But again, if you have epilepsy and you play flight sim, I don't know how you do it, because those blinking lights at nighttime, all the beacon and nav lights. I hope we have enough altitude here to avoid hitting anything. Now I picked the flight plan had us landing on. I put us landing on runway 9, coming into London City. The game had it by default going around and landing on the other runway. So I had ATC turned on to enforce flight rule for the best runway to land. So we'll see if they enforce it or not. Now, with the assistance on, the co-pilot definitely is the one handling all the... Or co-pilot, no, I don't know about co-pilot, but I have not had to mess with doing any communications here in free flight with the assistance turned on. It looks like we're starting to come back into the path of the hash marks. Now, in 2020, we only had hash marks when you did the landing pattern. You didn't have it for the takeoff, you didn't have it for the flights. I don't mind them there. I actually like them. It drives me crazy in career mode when I put autopilot and I use the navigation mode turned on and the plane doesn't go through these hash marks. Granted, you don't have to, but they're there, and the autopilot for the plane in nav mode doesn't actually use them. Only the AI pilot, like right now, would normally fly through them. Now, I haven't done a flight where I let the AI completely try to land. I don't think the AI pilot will land. Because I think in career mode, I've watched it. I've gone through the last hash mark before the runway, coming in on a landing, and the AI just flies past it. They don't even attempt to land. Most of the time, the AI pilot hasn't deployed the flaps or lowered the speed. So I can't even take control and land. I pretty much have to do landing patterns to slow down. Granted, I'm bad at landing. I'm doing stuff the way the tutorials tell you how to do it, yet I'm still stink at it. Or the biggest obstacle we all probably are dealing with is trees that are not, that are where they probably shouldn't be in real life, that are here in the game, like right at the right at the end of a runway to the point you can't land low and slow. You have to come down steep and then try to pull up to brake really, to lower your speed really quick before you touch down. Almost like a shuttle landing. You gotta come in at a 40-degree angle. It's not easy. Granted, I'm always in third person view. I don't like being in the cockpit to do my flights, which is probably why I have very bad landings. I'm not comfortable. I've tried it. I don't like it. I can't visually see what to do as easy as I can in external. Ooh, sorry. I made the camera jump there because I hit it. But, yeah, I just don't like doing the first person view very much. In career mode, I'll go in the first person view just when I have a long flight. And I have the autopilot turned on, or the, and I'll go in there, especially with the helicopter. Just because it lowers the noise. Let's see, can I pull up the... That doesn't really tell us where we're at, does it? I mean, we kind of know where we're at if I zoom in here. So that's some kind of company. Okay. Yeah, so our points of interest in this game aren't just your points of interest you pick for your flights or town. I mean, there's a lot more nameplates of things out there in the world in 24. Welcome in, welcome in. We're flying low across from Cardiff to London City. We're in Manchester airspace right now. And it's still daytime. At least for another few hours. So we left just in time to get to London before the sun goes down. And with all these clouds, it's hard to know. Again, how often is it not raining in London, right? So, what do we got up here ahead of us? The Royal Oak Pillory Street and Wallum. Trying to say words I can barely read, especially with the flickering in the background as the city's loading in. Are other people having this issue? I don't know. Like when you first fly over an area, is it flicker like this for everybody else? Let me know in the chat. I mean, while you're here watching. Or you can put it in comments later. Again, if you enjoy the video, or you want to, you like my content, hit that thumbs up button. It helps. Subscribe and hit that notify bell. I don't know. I didn't put a notification that I was going live, so I don't know if anybody gets notified when I just hit go live. Well, the AI finally got us back onto the supposed flight path. Windsor Castle was a waypoint I picked. Oh, we're flying way too fast. But yeah, Windsor was a waypoint I had picked for us to fly past, or fly over. Which, we kinda didn't. And my communication box up there, that's minimized, I have done that in, career mode, just because, you know, I need to have my flight follow stuff, so that's why that's there. Not that I was using it here, obviously. I don't need to, because the computer's handling the communications, my co-pilot. Technically, she should be the one flying, too, right now. It's really funny. You see all these clouds, and I guess it's the street lights that are making it this hazy look. Because we just flew past that where we could see everything. So either the clouds are following me, or what? I don't know. Maybe there's a storm rolling in behind me. We passed by some gardens. We got a lot of, I was picking quite a few landmarks along the Thames on the way into London City. Like I said, we're not gonna go, Heathrow should be off to our right, off our starboard side. Wembley Stadium off to our left. Okay, those were waypoints that apparently I picked that we're not actually flying to. The railway bridge, all these bridges with signs out must, maybe it's just the waypoints it put in here, I don't know. It is flickering a lot because we're coming into London proper. Oh, these aren't just waypoints. These are every little piece, point of interest I could have put as a waypoint. That's driving my vision crazy. And I don't have epilepsy, but flashing lights hurt my eyes. Oh. Oh no. It froze. I don't know if it's about the game's gonna crash or not. It might be having trouble loading in everything. This is what happens when stuff has to be streamed in, huh? Oh. Well, folks, we made it to near Heathrow. I guess we'll have to do another leg and another stream. But, or maybe not. We'll just take off from Heathrow and go to Edinburgh, in the next live stream. Well, folks, this was a short one. But, I'm not gonna sit here and ramble on while the game reloads. I'm gonna reload the game and play some career mode. Thanks for watching. Bye.